They say if it works, keep doing it. It doesn't mean I will transform to some book reviewer, book bashing channel. No, I will remain an entertainment channel using books, movies, and that kind of stuff. Now, still, Malazan, I just put it on this way, whatever. You know, I'm from 484 pages to 124 pages, so I'm circa 25% through the whole thing, and this was just book 1. I was blanking a little. What's this book 1 and book 2? I mean, it seems that so there are 7 books in this. Means large section, because this is volume 1 if you want, but we call it in the normal world mostly just book 1, but everybody understands it is volume 1, and inside it are bigger section which are books, and inside those are smaller chapters which are chapters. That's about it. So I guess these things will be shorter and shorter. What is the story? It looks to me at this point, I'm only at book 2. They did a battle in Palace. Yeah, Palace Athena, I guess that's the reference, whatever. And then they go to conquer Tajikistan or whatever. It's a city-state, so yeah. That's the whole story of the book, by the look of it. I don't mind it, but then again, this was supposed to be a big and confusing book, while it's very simple. In the entire thing, the main events are they are capturing 2 cities. That's the first level. What makes it confusing to some low IQ people, the Malazan fans. By the way, it's not Malazan Book of the Fallen, it's Malazan Book of the Fallen. Get it? Malazan is an adjective. The empire's name is Malazan, without an N. Anyway, under what makes it a bit, the writer, I uphold this takes way too much pages to build things up, but okay, wants to show a real turbulent, realistic war marching and all that, conquesting and all that. Where there are local moves of the armies and everyone has their own, and these people hate that squadron hates that squadron, and everyone in the squadron has their own agenda. Is it important? Not really. Do we have a protagonist? Just to clarify myself more. Yes, there are absolutely protagonists. There are 2. The Grievance, or whatever the original name is, who was originally a fisherman's daughter and got kidnapped by these randos and made her into some avatar of some god, deity, whatever. And there is this aristocrat boy who knows too much, which hinted a big mysterious background, but it seems there isn't one. Maybe. So it can go either way, it doesn't matter. He's just climbing the ladders. It's not very obvious, if you want to call it that. He doesn't become he doesn't step up in the ranks. He just gets more important missions and better positions under more and more influential people. Now, are there POV characters? No, that's not how this works. What we get instead is this more works like a movie. The camera is shooting the footage, it shows us what happens, and there are people there. We don't have POV characters, and we don't necessarily follow the protagonists. We just know what they are doing and what happens with them. Now the second level in the characters are the important characters, who we are told they have motivations, they have gripe with others, and so on and so on. These are only a handful, so calm down, it's not confusing. The more important characters are there are mages. You don't have to know their names, they don't really have an agenda. Not important. There are more obvious ones, like the guy who transported his soul into a puppet. Good, fine, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But at least he's rememberable, whatever the English word would be. More importantly, there is the High Mage, or whatever, Archmage, whatever you want to call it. He's directly under the Empress and served already the Emperor, and he's the puppet master in the whole empire, and who knows what his agenda is. So he's one of the most important characters. And there is the bridge burners, who are very boring because we don't have a single idea why would they be important or why they have this notoriety. So they are very boring characters, and they have Whiskey Jack and all that. He is the leader of them. And by the way, originally they were 1400, but they are now reduced to 37 or 39. But the writer directly tells you they are not important, only the 9th Squadron is important. And I assure you, not even the 9th Squadron's members are important. You just follow the main character, who is very much a copycat from Terry Pratchett, Dick Sword novels, the chief of the guards, the Town Guards. This is boring. Boring because they are just there, and they let's be honest, we should cut them out, because their role investigating the political machination and what's the problem of the Archmage, what's its goal or whatever, could be shoved on protagonist boy or something like that. So they are absolutely needless. They don't really have any interesting personality and or purpose in the story, so they are just that. By the way, you remember the Rondos I mentioned with the daughter of the fisherman? They are actually gods, or something like that. They are actually, seems to be sub-gods of death, the death god, because why not? And they are probably some ancient race or something like that. I guess it will be told us later. Who cares? This also is true for the dogs they have. They are very ancient, so they are very powerful. No, and there are of course the minions, very many characters who come here and there. They are all kinds of ranks, you know, high up mages to foot soldiers to merchants and that kind of things. Yeah, they don't matter. Don't pay attention to them. You should know better. But it's better talk about the magic system, because magic system is also important. Who cares? Every single book you read, it's all the same magic system. The variety is just, is it enough they think about it? They have to say something, or they do hand gestures, or they use components. It's not like they would be ever bogged down with components. They always have it in infinite amount. That's always crazed me. If I were an AD&D mage, I would have a fucking vehicle coming after me with components. Otherwise I couldn't exist. This is all stupid. Anyway, so until this point there are two kinds of magic. One is your usual magic, a fireball and all that. How they protect themselves or whatever, do counter spells, it's magic, don't ask questions. It just works. Okay, great, fantastic. Now how this works is, I was a bit confused at the beginning, because there is this wormholes they are walking through, and that is called holes, and the source of the magicians is called holes, but they also function as God's living spaces, and I figured it out, and the stuff between them is chaos. Yeah, we are world building. Now how this works, I can very easily tell you. So there is the magic realm, dimension, whatever you want to call it, and it's all made of chaos. It's a material. Don't break your head on it. It's like in Star Trek Voyager, the liquid space. Now, you carve yourself your space in here, and that's your hole, and the bigger place you carve yourself, it's a literal cave or something, the stronger you become. Of course, if you are more ancient, that means you had more time to carve these things, so you are more powerful. Very simple. Of course, these can be used as wormholes, so we don't get surprised by this. They can enter and exit to them, and so we, as I told you, it is an entire different dimension, a realm if you want, and that's it. And if you carve into this, by you know, depending where you are carving into the chaos, you discover new things, and that will be your power. So it's both dangerous and profitable. That's the whole thing. So the gods simply maybe exist. They either originate from this dimension, or just live very long, since very long, and they are just there because why not? They got bored, I guess, at the mortarium or whatever. By the way, in the mortarium, material world or world, whatever you want to call it, the magicians also live a couple 100 years at the very least, so yeah, all that. Now the other type of magic is the tarot reading. It just somehow works, don't worry about it. So when you flip a card, it will be the card you had to pull, because actually these cards are communication with the gods. It just is. What order you put them in, it just depends on your mood, I guess. They don't tell us anything, and the glossaries has a list of houses or whatever. Doesn't matter, doesn't come up, whatever. Now the more important thing is, so you are putting down the cards so everyone can see that. But they are this thing is already magic because you pull the right cards. But everyone can see that. Got it? Got it. So they can know what on the surface that what your conjuring prophecy, whatever you want to call it, is. But the cards, figures, drawings, illustrations also get additional details and are moving. And that's just for you. As I told you, the cards are communication with the gods, consoling, you know. So you get personal information, extra information with these, what nobody else can know. So you always have an advantage with these cards. Of course, people don't like this, and it's also the gods have to approve it, and it depends on your magic power and all that kind of stuff, but that's the gist of it. So that's it. The book is not confusing, very simple, don't worry about it. All the rumors that this is fake, these people are fake, and this book is fake, very hostile to the reader, as they forgot to add, in their hubris, the table of contents. What kind of idiot does that?